First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua Ba'Shem, Rokakwadash. Yahweh to this world to ignorantly cause God. Yahushua to this world to ignorantly cause Jesus. Ba'Shem means in the name, Rakah means spirit, and Qudash means holy. And that's all in the Paleo Hebrew. Also, to give double honors to the elder bishops and apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. In today's video, I wanted to go into how World War III is inevitable. Okay, and the reason why is because it is Bible prophecy. So, this is going to be a straight to the point video. And first scripture I wanted to deal with is in Revelation. When you search up a woe, you get these two scriptures. Salakia. But it says in Revelation chapter 9, I'll start at verse 8. Revelation 8 and 13, as you can see right here, it says, "And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, 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 to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels, which are yet to sound." Right? And that right there was a prophecy about the 3 world wars that were going to take place. They were referred to as woes, right? 3 woes. So when you read Revelation 9 and verse 12, it says, "One woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter." Right? So going into how World War I had passed. And when you go into that chapter, Revelation 9, this is actually talking about or breaking down World War I. Okay, when it talks about the locusts, and the locusts, it had faces of men, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. That's all talking about those jets, those planes, the fighter, dog fighting planes. So it says, "One woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter." Right? So 2 world wars more. That's difficult to say. 2 more world wars. And that's, the other scripture where it says that 2 woes have passed in Revelation 9 and verse, let's get it. Revelation 11:14, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." And that's the facts. That's the prophecy, is that World War III is coming, and it is coming quickly. Salakia. As I was saying, World War III is coming quickly. And you can see that, on the world scale, how everything is starting to accelerate, right? All these nations are starting to have beef with each other. Russia with China, with link with Venezuela, with North Korea, coming against America, NATO, EU. Recently, you had this guy. Let's actually get that since this lies hand in hand. This guy by the name of the German World War coming. Right. Germany is getting ready for war. Germany unveils secret war plan as NATO braces for Russia. And you gotta get the exact story. I forgot the guy's name. But pretty much, I don't think it's called the Prime Minister. But let's look at this. It's a lucky for not having this ready. I'm going to give it one more search, and if I can't find it, we'll keep going. German, Putin, NATO. Here it is. Yep. BBC 2 days ago. Russia could attack NATO within 5 years, says alliance chief in stark new warning. And it says, Russia is already escalating its covert campaign against our societies, Mark Rutte said in a speech in Germany. We must be prepared for the scale of war our grandparents or great-grandparents endured. Right, so that right there, he's telling you that hey, you got to get ready for a war such as World War I, World War II. But World War III is going to be on a whole different level because it says that this coming war is not going to be fought like the ancient wars, hand-to-hand combat. Hey, what's coming is completely different. It says that in Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5, it says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise. Give me a second. It says, Isaiah 9 and 5, for every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Right, so that's what's coming is that, the ancient battles was confused noise, swords clinking, people screaming, limbs being chopped off. But this coming battle that's going to take place, it's going to be with burning and fuel of fire. Right, all this technology of missiles, missiles are the main way of attacking now. So, hey, that's World War III in a nutshell. And this guy's telling you, hey, it's coming. And it says, going down, there's one more thing he said. I don't think they put it in this exact keynote speech. Let's go through that real quick. It's a very long speech. I'm not going to go through that. We'll go through this one. Because he says something that was very important in the speech. Yeah, I can't find it. But another thing that came to mind is that they were talking about how, they're going to start pretty much preparing these young men to go to war. And all these young men, the younger generation, they were doing a survey, and all these young men were talking about, we ain't going to war. We're not going to go fight for a country that, doesn't have our best interests. We're not going to go die for somebody else's, decisions. You should send their elites, and their sons to war, since they're the ones riling everything up. That's pretty much the mindset of the generation. They're realizing, the lies and hypocrisy that have been pushed forth. And it was prophesied that it was going to be that way, that the men were not going to go fight. It says that in Mighty Men. Jeremiah 51 and verse 30 says, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed. They became as woman. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. Right, so these men of America, they're not going to go fight when it's time to go fight. Okay, they're not going to want to go. But, hey, they're going to be dragged to the valley of Yehoshaphat. Okay, they're going to be dragged against their wills. Because the modern day man, as it says, has become as a woman. Okay, through this feminism, through these Edomites being in power and pushing this wickedness, they have pretty much promoted that the man becomes a woman and the woman becomes the man. So everything is upside down. And we can see how the average American, the average citizen their mindset is not to go fight. They're realizing that these countries, it's all manipulated, and that we're just cannon fodder if we go out there and fight. You go out there to just get slammed by a cannon, the first second that you step foot on soil. And that's not war, that's literally committing suicide. So, as the scriptures say, that veil is being lifted. In the covering cast, my bad. Isaiah 25 and verse 7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. Right? And that veil, a veil goes into pretty much like a covering, right? It goes into hiding something. And this is talking about how all the lies and deceptions, that the people up top have put over the people, that is being exposed. Okay, the average person is realizing that, hey, shit is all rigged, and that these governments are not for you. And like I said, it's all Bible prophecy. World War III is biblically prophesied. So quick video there. Hopefully this was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Makakwadash, and double honors to the other bishops and apostles of great Milsta that taught me this truth. Shalom to you, like Shalom.